Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again with another episode of My Worthless Two Cents Table Talk, where your approval is not needed. Oh, look at here, look at here, look at here. Boy, what another great day it is. Old country boy, y'all see I'm up here by myself. So you know when I'm by myself, you know what I'm gonna say. I won't be before you long. I'm gonna just pop in and pop out. Look here, got a little shout today. It's gonna be a little bit different. The title of this thing is thank you. First and foremost, I'll share this with each and every one of you. Is that today, this day, 9 years ago, this day was the day that we said goodbye to our mom. It was 9 years ago, and as I look back, as I look back, it seems just like it was yesterday. So instead of mourning, I'm gonna celebrate not just her, but I'm gonna use this moment. I'm gonna use this moment, this day, to celebrate some people, and I hope you just for a little bit here. I'm gonna scream out some names. Y'all might not even know them. Some of y'all might know them. I don't know. But what I'm gonna do this night, what I'm gonna take this opportunity to do, because God has placed it on my heart. What I'm gonna take this opportunity. See, I've learned something in 57 years. I've learned something. So part of learned something. My teachers would be proud of me. I done learned something. What I learned is this: is that it is very important. It's very crucial for me to give people their flowers. Um, I'm learning that. I'm learning that over and over, to give people their flowers while they can smell them. When my mama used to say that, I didn't know what the heck she's talking about. But as I've gotten older, I know what that means. It means pay respect to those um, that have poured in, to give that to them. So tonight, this is what I'm going to do. Uh, I'm going to say thank you to some people. Some of them, I wrote a list out. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people I couldn't get everybody on this list because I only got short amount of time here. Um, but the people that I have, the names that you're about to hear, the names that I'm about to call out, are people who throughout my life have poured in, and if they can hear it, I want to say to them, thank you for who you are. And I want to say this. I want y'all to be clear about this. On this list, this list does not have any women. Not that, not. But tonight, I'm gonna pay homage to some wonderful men, some men um, that mean a lot. That I have much respect for. So I'm gonna run down this list, and I'm gonna name some names, and I'm gonna call out some names, and know what these names is: love, it's respect, it's so much that I admire, have admired. Some of them I didn't get a chance to even tell them. So I'm gonna just run down through here. So y'all bear with me. The first name on this list, and I'm gonna just run through some names. So y'all just listen up and listen closely. Ray Bradley, Coach Ray Bradley, Coach Darnell Cowan, Jerry Smith, John Ewan, Milton Holland, Joe Holland, George Jackson, Jess Hill, Alma Hill, Otis Hill, Earl Brown, Kenneth Wesley, Reverend Luther Henry, Johnny Murphy, Alma Goldsmith, James Dumaine, James Earl Moore, Cicero McCarty, Reverend J.L. Spencer, Reverend Julius Hill, John McLaughlin, Will Black, Reverend F.D. Powell, Mance Beard, and Greg Franklin. That's just, for me, that's just a few people. Um, but those names came, and the amount of respect that I have for these gentlemen. Some of them have gone on. Some of them are still here. Sometimes we have to, we really, we really have to pay honor to people and give them, hey, give them their flowers, give them their due. Because for me, these just there's so many more. I'll tell you right now. But the men that I just named on this list, some of them from when I was a little kid. I can tell you some stories there. I said Johnny Murphy. I don't know. I'm from the country, boy. Let me tell you something. Before that was Major League Baseball, that was baseball up in this little town called Liberty Hill. Oh boy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Man, Johnny Murphy. Ooh, boy. I'm telling you, he was the king of baseball up there. He was the man. He was the man back in the day. And just thinking about those things and growing up around that, and when I came up, and so many others, so many others, so many wonderful men that stood tall. See, I stand today on the shoulder of these men. I- y'all might not even know these men, but let me tell you, to me, giants, giants, giants. They they walked it. They walked it, and I have the utmost of respect for them. So that's what I want to do. I want to walk it. I want to walk it daily. I want to walk it daily, not just for them, but to glorify God and to honor them with respect. See, because sometimes we miss that. We've come up in a world where that is just not even given anymore. See, let me tell you something. Of these men right here, I I couldn't walk around and just be any kind of way and say any kind of old thing. That's me. I couldn't. You know, on this list, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Kenny Wesley. Kenny Wesley was a sheriff police officer down there. Look, back when I was growing up, I used to call him Matt Dillon. I don't know if he might get mad at me now, but I used to call him Matt Dillon. I sure did. He reminded me of Matt Dillon. Um, you know, just to have that the respect. You know, Ray Earl Bratton, man, coach. Whoo, man, I'm telling you, one man, Louisiana, man, one of the greatest. He's a tough principal too. I think he, I think Coach Bratton, I'm gonna have to have a talk with him because you know what? He spent me one time. He sure did. He spent me from school. But anyway, it was having those kind of people around. See, when you have people around that are willing to tell you as a youngster, hey, mm-mm, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna act that way. See, we've gotten to a point where we just let things be. We don't stand and stand for anything. For me, these men stood. They were the pillars of the community. I have the utmost respect for them. Um, and so many, so many different areas. And that's what I want to leave behind for my legacy. I want to do that. I want to be a man of integrity. I want to walk it daily. I want to talk it daily. I want to live it. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm perfect. None of us are. But see, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the measuring stick that these men laid. That I kind of follow this measuring stick for me. That's for me. And I don't know if even if there's some of their family that might know. I'm telling you, if they're family, I'm telling you, yeah, these men are to me wonderful, wonderful leaders, and it has an honor for me to say that they poured into my life. They poured into my life. Just as I want to be able to stand and pour into others positivity, productivity, and joy. I want to be able to do that. I want to stand firm where they say that old boy right there. He didn't just talk it, he walked it. Walked it. Walked it. And if more of us would do that on a day-to-day basis, you know, at some point, I guess maybe this is for my brothers, for my men. At some point, we just have to stand up and be that. We have to stand up and be the men that we're called to be. See, if we don't be the men that we're called to be, our women can never be the women that they're supposed to be. If we don't be the men that we're supposed to be, our children will never grow to the fullness of their potential. We have to be the men. We have to be the men of integrity. We have to stand on it. We have to stand on integrity. You know what that means? You know what that means? That means whether somebody watching you or they not, whether they watching you or they not, you stand on it. You be it in the light and you be it in the dark. Um, and that's what it's all about. You know, this old boy right here, it took me a long time to learn it and to understand it. It took me a long time, but now I get it. Now I get it. We have generation of people watching us, but let's not do it because people are watching us. Let's do it because that's who we are. Let's do it because we want our families to stand. We want to leave legacies positive. Let me say this about legacy. Let me say this. If you ain't never heard it, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. We all will leave a legacy behind. Good friend of mine said this on the show once, and we will all leave a legacy behind. It is our choice. It is our choice what that legacy shall be. We will all leave a legacy, but it's up to us, our choice, what kind of legacy that will be. Men, my brothers, men, my brothers, men, my brothers. Let's start holding each other accountable. Let's start holding ourselves accountable. Let's start being the men that our women need. Let's start being the men, the fathers that our children need. Let's start being the men that God has called us to be. Start. Let's start. We have lag behind. We have come up with so many excuses about everything. We've come up with excuses about this. We've blamed everybody in the world. Let's stop blaming and let's start claiming our rightful position as leaders, as men. When I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. My brothers, my men, my brothers, my men, as they say in the service, assume the position. Let's start holding one another accountable. Men, my brothers, let's stop tearing each other down. Men, my brothers, let's lift each other up, hold each other accountable, be the men that our women need, be the fathers our children need, be the men that we are called by God to be. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. I'm not saying any of us are perfect. Not. We all got things to deal with. We all have. We all go through. We all will go through. But let's start being there and being men again. Let's start being that. See, we have to assume the position. We have to take our rightful place. See, we can't just claim to be somewhere. We have to be there. We got to be there. God is calling on us to stand, to be. We want certain things from our women, but we have to be accountable for ourselves and our actions in order to lead them. We want our children to be certain kind of way. We have to lead them. We have to lead them. Men, my brothers, let's stand. Let's stand. Come from behind the shame. Come from behind all of the foolishness. Come from behind it. Stand up and be the men that God has called us to be. Stand up and hold ourselves accountable, and let's hold each other accountable. It's time. It's time. It's time. It is time. So, look, yeah, that's all this old boy got tonight. Again, I just wanted to pay honor to these men in my life. Some of them, not all of them. I couldn't even, I'd be here all night trying to list all of them. But to each and every one of these men that I named on this list. I thank you for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Coach Brad, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Coach Cowan, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Jerry Smith, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, John Ewing, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Milton Holland, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Joe Holland, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, George Jackson, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Reverend Jess Hill, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Alma Hill, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Uncle Otis, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Earl Brown, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Kenneth Wesley, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Reverend Luther Henry, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Johnny Murphy, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Alma Goldsmith, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, James Dumaine, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, James Earl Moore, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Cicero McCarty, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Reverend J.L. Spencer, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Reverend Julius Hill, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, John McLaughlin, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, William Brown, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Reverend Frederick Powell, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Mance Beard, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. I thank you, Greg Franklin, for allowing me to stand on your shoulders. Now, I'm strong enough to allow somebody to stand on mine. And I thank each and every one of you. As I close, I say this. If God has given you something, He's given you a vision. It's yours. Is He giving it to you? It's yours. Don't worry about what anybody tells you can't do and you shouldn't be doing. If He's giving it to you, I don't care what it is. It's yours. Walk in it. Walk in your purpose. What He's called you to do, whatever it may be. It's yours. And guess what? I believe in you and I support you with everything I got. I'm here. I support you. I support your vision. I believe in you. And if ain't nobody told you today, from the morning to the evening, oh, night time, if ain't nobody told you they love you, look at him. So, boy, right here, I'll say it proudly. I love you. And guess what? I love you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing, there ain't nothing you can do about it. I thank you. Y'all have a good one night here.